The Ferrari 296 is a great new addition to the Group 3 catalogue on GT7, but this Ferrari 458 still has loads to give, doesn't it? Well, I'm going to test its acceleration, top speed, tyre wear, fuel consumption, performance under BOP on different tracks, upshift points and brake balance. That's right, I'm going to do the work so you don't have to. Coming up. Hello again and welcome to any newcomers. This time I'm going to be testing and comparing the old Ferrari 458. The shout out and thanks for requesting this one goes out to Charles Fadayomi, Sideways Singh and Terry Russell. First up, I'm testing the acceleration on this car over 5 separate runs. On each run I upshift at a specific point on the rev bar to establish how to get the fastest time out of it. The time for this first run is 27.366. For true comparison between the cars, there must be a strict format and rules so that you can be confident that all of the cars have been tested as equally as possible. Settings for this test are equal conditions on, BOP on, medium racing tyres with tyre wear set at ×1, fuel consumption at ×1 with 100 litres in the tank. All assists are off and all the car settings are off, including the brake balance. The time for this second run is 27.281. Rules for the actual test are that each run must start after one single outlap so that all the cars have the same fuel weight and tyre wear. Each run must start in the left lane at the start line and stay in that lane until the first split. Fuel consumption is showing on the HUD for 1 lap evidence. The time for this third run upshifting at 90% on the rev bar is 27.241. Knowing when to upshift your car matters in GT7. Watching these comparison videos is a small time investment for your success on the track. After the 5th run I'll show you the leaderboard with massive time variations for each car. I refer to these cars as either short shifters, standard shifters or full revvers. Standard shifting this Ferrari 458 at 100% on the rev bar has a time of 27.202. The 458 hits 100% on the rev bar at 9,000 revs and it doesn't top out until it hits 9,500. So for this run I'm upshifting just before that mark in every gear using the rev counter on the bottom right of the HUD. VR users don't need to worry about knowing when to shift in car as this isn't the fastest run. If your steering wheel like mine hides the LED lights, upshift when the rev bar on the car dash hits the end as the car is a standard shifter. This run was half a tenth slower at 27.252. This first leaderboard shows all the various times each car achieved upshifting at different points, with their fastest times in red. Some of them have less than a tenth variation while others have 4 or 5 tenths across the board. The 458 slots into 5th place with nice evidence there isn't much time lost short shifting when fuel saving. The new Ferrari is 6 tenths slower than the 458, nestled down on page 2. Next up we have 2 top speed tests. Next up is the first of 2 top speed tests, and this one is measuring flat out top speed. This test is carried out at Special Stage Route X because it has the longest straight in the game. I take the top speed reading at the 10,000 metre gate long after the downhill section has ended and if the speed has stayed the same for the final 600 metres. I speed up the footage to get us there quicker. Settings for this test are equal conditions on, BOP on, medium racing tyres with tyre wear off, fuel consumption at ×1 with 100 litres in the tank, car settings include brake balance off, assists off and penalties off. The fastest speed clock by any car so far is 288 km/h, but a Ferrari won't beat that. I always say that I take the speed at the 10,000 metre gate if the speed is settled for the final 600 metres. but I've never actually shown you what I do if it doesn't. The speed dropped to 278 km/h with 300 metres to go, so now I progress to the back straight and let it settle there. As you can see, 278 km/h is its natural top speed using the high speed BOP settings. We'll now move straight on to the second top speed test and compare both sets of results afterwards. The second top speed test is used to establish how quickly these cars can complete a lap at the Daytona Tri-Oval circuit. Some cars lose speed more than others through high speed cornering, and this track allows me to keep my foot flat to the floor all the way round. Settings are exactly the same as the last top speed test for this one. I have one out lap before the timed lap to get up to speed, and I stay as close to the yellow line as I can. To help us understand the fast cornering ability of the Ferrari, the Peugeot RCZ and the Citroën GT also clocked 278 km/h at the last test. Round here the Citroën clocked 52.2 and the RCZ was really slow at 52.6. Using those examples suggests the Ferrari might have quite an average ability to maintain high speed cornering with a time of 52.454. These are the last two top speed test results for comparison. On the left we have the raw straight line speed, and on the right we have the flat out lap time. The top 10 remains the same from last time. The table on the right helps us understand which cars gain or lose speed while fast cornering. The Ferrari 458 goes above the RCZ into 16th place, but a Citroën goes into 12th even though all have the same top speed. The Citroën shows amazing fast cornering by getting round quicker than the NSX, GTR and the RS01, even though they all have faster straight line speed. Next up we have the first of 3 balance of performance tests. On this one I'm testing a low speed BOP, and I use a Sardegna B layout for it. GT7 applies low speed BOP settings to all of the cars when they are racing under BOP restrictions on these displayed tracks. Settings for all 3 BOP tests are equal conditions on, BOP on, medium racing tyres with tyre wear set to ×1, I have 100 litres of fuel with usage set to ×1, car settings are all off except for brake balance, assists are off except for ABS which is set to default, and penalty settings are off except for shortcut penalties. To ensure fair fuel usage and tyre wear, each stint is no longer than 11 laps including an out lap. I usually do 3 or 4 stints per session to achieve the optimum times. Each stint starts with a full tank and fresh tyres. Optimum times may appear much quicker than the best lap times because of all the different combinations I've tried during the session. After driving the Citroën VGT last time out, it's nice to be able to see this time. What I do have again is a lot of understeer, and I think it's something between the suspension setup and the track. The car feels quite light in the wheel, but the car struggles to connect with the various cambers of this circuit, bouncing side to side in places. I think a softer suspension would really help as brake balance changes don't improve it. I'm using +3 brake balance for the best results, and the times are actually quite good. The optimum time for this session is 1 minute 20.260. So the 458 looks quite brilliant slotting into 3rd place on this low speed BOP table. The 2 new cars to Group 3 still sit on top, but maybe the 458 is getting overlooked because of the 296 coming into the game. I haven't really driven the 458 much because the in-car HUD position isn't great for VR, but I'm now interested to see what else it has. On page 2, the AMG 20 leads a load of powerful cars that are perhaps not as suited to a smaller, more technical circuit. For the mid-speed BOP test I use the Road Atlanta circuit. GT7 applies mid-speed BOP settings to all of the cars when they are racing under BOP restrictions on these displayed circuits. I like producing these comparison videos for everyone, and I'm really encouraged by the positive feedback I've received. I would like to carry on doing them beyond the BOP changes that PD introduce, but it has to be worth the amount of time I'm putting in. At present, I'm not sure the YouTube algorithm is sharing my content with enough of the GT7 community. So if you appreciate the value to you in these videos, please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Your input and feedback is always welcome and valued. Mad but fun is how I'd sum up this session. I've got really good grip round here and it deals with the twists, turns and elevation changes really well, but only when the rear end behaves itself. Oversteer is a bit mental, and for that reason I've dropped the brake balance to 0, which settles it down and makes it a nice drive. Steering, suspension and brakes all feel really good, as does the sound of the Ferrari engine purring in my ear. The car just feels fast on this circuit, which I didn't expect for some reason. I did my fastest lap early on in the first few laps and I couldn't improve it while I tried lots of different things to build the optimum times. The end time for this session is a very good 1 minute 19.032. Okay, so now the 458 is showing us a serious contender by landing in 3rd place again, just over a tenth off the lead in this category. People do moan about the things they could improve on GT7, but I actually think the BOP is really good. I've tested 19 cars now and I don't have a target in mind for these tests. They are just what they are, and in this category the difference between the cars is minute, even though they all drive very differently. So BOP in the game works. For the high-speed BOP test I use the main Daytona circuit. GT7 applies high-speed BOP settings to all of the cars when they are racing under BOP restrictions on these displayed tracks. This Ferrari 458 is 10 kilos lighter than it is in the mid-speed BOP, and it's 20 kilos lighter than it is in the low-speed BOP weight, so you might expect that it should do better here. +2 brake balance is the quickest for me as the rear end starts to become a pain any further back. I am having trouble turning into these hairpins in sectors 1 and 2 as the car doesn't like big turns while braking, and I can't find the right balance to maintain speed around the corner when braking early. The VR setup isn't bad inside the car with decent visibility, but the annoying bulge above the steering wheel gets right in your line of sight. The in-car HUD is also way too far to the right for easy viewing. All of these tests are carried out in lobby mode so that BOP can be added and tested with fuel weight, and so that optimum times are reset after every session. Whether you're a second quicker than me or 3 seconds slower, I believe there is something for everyone in these videos. My DR is between high A to low A+, so my optimum time should give you a fair assessment of the cars. I've been looking for this type of info on GT7 since it came out, but I couldn't find it, so I hope you find it really useful. And don't be shy. If you know any special quirks this car has that can benefit others, or even if you just want to share your successes, tell us about it in the chat. Because it has a lower top speed and slight trouble carrying through the hairpins, it must have an excellent acceleration to be achieving the times that it is. I haven't managed to nail the perfect lap, but there's a much better one in there with an amazing optimum time of 1 minute 46.928. Another great result for the 458. It's not topping any of these leaderboards, but it's right up there for most so far. And less weight on this track with great acceleration seems to be a good combo. The Audi remains dominant on top and definitely needs taking down by something. Finally, we're at Brands Hatch for the final 2 tests rolled into one. For these tests I'll be driving continuously from the pits until one of the tyres is worn. From that moment I'll work out how long the tyres have lasted and how much fuel I've used. Fuel consumption and tyre wear are a massive part of racing and should be a massive part of your thinking when selecting a car for certain events. It can be the difference between making one stop or two. Settings for this test are equal conditions on, BOP on, soft racing tyres and tyre wear set to 5. The fuel tank is full with 100 litres and consumption is set to ×3. Car settings are all off except for brake balance. All assists are off except for ABS, which is set to default, and all penalty settings are off. Rules for all the cars is to drive them as I would race them based on learnings from all of the previous tests, and the car should be driven fast but not fast enough to risk going off track. For this run I'm using +2 brake balance as that was the middle setting used in the BOP tests, and I'm standard shifting as that's the quickest way to drive this car. This test is a long one and speeding up the video is terrible to watch, so I cut out the middle part and I return when the tyres are nearly worn. I'm back and I'm only on the 9th lap and the rear left is nearly gone already. In hindsight it might have been better to go for 0 brake balance because there isn't equal tyre wear between the back and the front. Ideally for longer tyre critical races you want the front to be wearing quicker than the back because with no rear grip, spinning out is inevitable. The last couple of laps have become really dodgy and it's all about to come to an end with a spin out of the next corner. The grey arrow on this graphic confirms where I am on the track and confirms that I've completed 9 laps. The top 10 remains unchanged with the top 3 looking like really good picks for those tyre heavy races. Wrong Ferrari at the top for this video though. The 458 is actually down in 15th place and although it's shown great results so far, tyre wear is definitely not one of its strengths. On the bottom right of the car HUD I have 54% of fuel remaining, meaning I've used 46 litres. 46 litres divided into 9 laps means the Ferrari 458 is using 5.11 litres per lap on this circuit, and I think we've found some flaws with it now. Really disappointing fuel and tyre results bring the 458 back down to earth. I guess it's the beauty of the game that no car is strong in every department. So overall, this Ferrari is still a strong player in the game, mainly because of its ability to compete across all BOP categories and for its strong acceleration. It's also only just below average for top speed, tyre wear and fuel consumption. From what I've seen, it's still highly competitive and it definitely shouldn't be in the shadow of the new Ferrari 296. So that's it from me now for this one. Thanks for watching until the end, and why not check out the playlist to see if I've covered your favourite Group 3 car yet. Happy racing and see you next time.